If you are a passionate violinist looking to improve your intonation, you are in the right place. I will walk you through 5 essential practice habits to really improve your intonation. Hence, you will improve your confidence in practicing the violin and being able to play any piece in tune very easily after this practice session. Intonation can be very tricky, but if you master practicing intonation in one practice session, it could really drastically improve your sound quality, confidence, and being able to learn the piece as fast as you can. And let me tell you, intonation practice can be very meditative because we let go of all the thoughts and we just focus on the pure tone. And that could really relax your mind and also open up all your senses. And it's not just about listening with your ears, it's also about listening with your body. When your energy is flowing freely with this meditative mind and really heightened sense of listening, it could really improve your intonation and sense of hearing for the right tune. So first habit that you want to really implement in your body is to always have your open strings as your best friends. So you're going to always rely on the open strings and your ears to listen for the pure tone that matches these open strings. First off, you want to tune your violin in tune, like the open strings need to be in tune to practice intonation. Let's say one more thing. When you're tuning your violin, this is the same thing. All the strings are in perfect fifth. So it's supposed to ring perfectly. And you're going to find that perfect tune with your ears. But when you're not using the bow in a way that can really hear the sound quality, it's not going to help you listen better. So always, even if it's like independence of your right hand and left hand, you are listening carefully. So you, like sometimes my students get just like this, like, how can you hear the intonation? You want to just really use the bow almost to the full bow with the same bow speed that you can hear it better. See, there's a perfect tune that comes with it. And even though this is A and E, I hear in the background, this is called overtone. So, and I also hear, so these overtones, actually we have not only 1 or 2, we have like bunch of overtones. I think it's 12 overtones or something in one perfect intonation. There's always this note in the background that rings with those 2 notes that can make the sound more resonating. So don't only listen to the note here, always listen to the overtone at the same time. It'll really enhance your listening skill. So always compare with open string. And first off, you want to set your left hand to be very stable so that no matter which string you're playing and which position you're playing, your hand position, the frame of your fingers are always steady. It's not like twisting or moving depending on which string or which position you're playing. It's always stable. So this is the way that you can practice intonation. First off, I will always tune my 3rd finger because in first position, it's easy to compare with open string. So look for this perfect octave tone. When it's not in tune, it's gonna be and it's not really ringing until now you can breathe. So this is why intonation practice can be very meditative, because you are always looking for that perfect tune, that pure tone, and it really engage your listening sense, and then you're listening with your body, responding to your ears. So the energy flows from your ears all the way with your violin and all the way to the fingertips. And that's why your arm and your shoulders, your neck, all of your body needs to be relaxed enough so that when you come to practice scales or etudes, really listening, energy is flowing enough that muscle memory is very effective. So in that way, when you're not tight here, when you lift and drop your fingers, it's freer, it's close to the strings, and then it's flowing freely. And so after this, tuning your third finger, I would tune my pinky. Again with the open string next to it. Now this is this should sound like one note because it's identical note. And then go back to D. And then go back to E. And then go back and forth. Get used to this interval. Now you're working on the muscle memory here. Relax your arm, relax your elbow. Now it's time to tune your second and first finger. Now your left hand is settled. So the reason why I always start with the third finger is also because we can compare to open string, but this is sort of the pillar of the four fingers that you can adjust to. Because if you adjust to the first finger, first and second finger, they're actually strong and very independent, including your thumb. But these two fingers are kind of weaker than these two, and also the pinky is the thinnest and the shortest. So we want to always make sure these two kids are protected and supported. So I will teach kids with this analogy: daddy and mommy, and then sister and baby finger. Okay, so when the family is traveling together, mom and dad is not going to pick the destination that would be very hard for kids to travel with, like Mount Everest. Why would they bring their kids to that when even though they can go, the kids cannot really do that? So they will either go to the playground in the nice park or nice scenery that has nice hill or lake, somewhere that they can enjoy and still like swim or ride a bike in a safe way. So it's the same way. The family is traveling together and we want to be harmonized together. Everyone has the good experience. So in this case, because we are connected with this bass knuckle, right? And then we want to make sure the sister finger is comfortable enough. And then the baby finger, can be taken care of after that. And then after that, you can put the first finger down and notice that first finger is not going to be vertically, like fingertip, the middle of fingertip is on the string. If you do that, it's going to be sharp. So almost C. To be able to play B in tune, it's going to be laid down on the side like this. At least for me, I don't have big hand. It's small, so I need to kind of sacrifice the comfort of the first finger, but it's not that uncomfortable to do this. It's just this part of the fingertip is more on the string, not the middle of the fingertip. And then after that, so like we're gonna practice this Schradieck. So the reason why I picked Schradieck is because this has a lot of different combination, the finger patterns, different keys, different kinds of string crosses, and different kinds of shifts and positions. So it starts with first position in very basic A major finger pattern. And then after that, it goes to a little more complicated finger pattern. And then the first position has different kinds of finger patterns, starting with one string and then add one more string, and then 3 strings, 4 strings, and then more complicated finger pattern. And then it goes to second position, and then it goes to first and second position, goes to third position only, and then goes to first, second, third position, and goes to fourth position, etc. So it goes up to the 7th position, and I used to memorize up to 5th position, and it took about like 1.5 hours to practice until the 7th position, really listening carefully and repeating with slow tempo, middle tempo, and then fast tempo to really get the intonation going and also the articulation and agility of the fingers. It really enhanced my left hand technique. So I would strongly encourage you to use this for your left hand foundation, but don't practice this everything like every day. Just start with first position. Really get that into your system, all the different finger patterns, different string crosses, and then go up to second position, next day third position, something like that. Just go step by step, getting used to the intervals in this etude, and at the same time notice which finger is the anchor, which finger is the pillar in this exercise. So for example, here third finger is ankle, and then here with the open string. You can even add your E string. Right, and then here see, notice this movement is always the same. Lifting, dropping, lifting, dropping. Doesn't have to go all the way out and in. Just stay here. The closer the better, not like too close because then it's going to not make the articulation that clear. So. See, this is the muscle memory, that you are remembering how the finger is landing on the string to the right pitch with repetition like this. And in order to do that, you need to be relaxed here. Your arm, your fingers, your palm, your thumb. If it's like, if you're gripping here or if your arm is tight, then you're kind of like trying to press your finger down, and in that way muscle memory is not really fully active. You want to really let the muscle memory activate it. Even being able to play this really fast comes from relaxed muscle here. So practice with comparing with open strings and playing slowly with really relaxing your muscles. Once your fingers are settled with these two fingers, sister finger and baby's finger, and then mommy and daddy can follow, just like putting on the side. At the same time, your finger direction is going to face the same way. See, like when the family is traveling, their destination is the same. They're going to the same way. It's the same thing. We are directing the fingers to the same direction so that it's not like twisted. Your fingers are not twisted in any way. Sometimes we turn in for pinky. That can create instability in finger movement. So make sure the finger directions are always the same. But sometimes we can turn in for low 2 or low 3, but at the same time, you're gonna come back to the origin of the frame. Those are the two things. So open strings and then relaxed muscle, heightening your ears to listen really carefully. Don't let even one note pass by without listening. So this is why intonation practice is so important, and you need the patience to really listen and play slowly, practice slowly, because if you just pass by with fast tempo, you will likely miss some notes, not fixing or not hearing even those notes were in tune or not. So practice slowly is the key. And then when you are shifting, intonation can be not stable. So how you practice shift for intonation is every time you move to different position, always tune your third finger with open string. In that key. The fingers are facing me, and then practice like this. One more thing is that when you string cross, your elbow moves together. So the way you put down the fingers are not going to change because of the string. Only thing that change is that, like especially the first and second finger comes closer to your palm as you go to E string. So see, my first finger is almost like touching this finger, like almost like this. But if you go, because of this, go off like this, this will create unsteadiness in your movement, and then you cannot move fast enough in between two strings because you're busy just adjusting your hand, right? So try to remain in the same frame even when you're playing. Nothing really changes except your elbow. See how I move my elbow is just base knuckle all the way down towards your elbow is one line. When you're relaxed, it just automatically happens. From your pinky side, this is one line, right? Just dropping. When you shake and then just relax, it'll just drop there, right? So that's how you really practice string crosses with more awareness. Moving your elbow in and out, comfortably. And when you shift, make sure that your finger direction is always the same, and then you're not pressed down, and your finger shape also is the same. So, for example, if I play the G major scale, when I shift it here, my first finger stays the same. I was doing this because I wanted to show you the shape of the finger. So when you shift, it's the same thing. When you string cross, nothing changes except your elbow, like this. And then finger direction can change just a little bit depending on which note you're playing. When you're shifting, your finger shape doesn't change. And when you're practicing string crosses, make sure that the fingerboard is slightly curved like this. So if you just go without listening, it's not going to be in tune. Hop lightly and see which angle serves. But how you put down the finger is going to be almost the same except the first finger. The finger nail direction is going to change just a bit. When you play G string, it's facing a little that way, and then when you come to E string, first finger is facing right directly to you. So notice how I practice string cross. I go back and forth. Notice the interval and it's a little sharp. I will compare with open string and then I will go back and forth. Memorize the interval. Go back to the upper position. It's a little flat this time. It's a little sharp this time. Now it's in tune. Practice these two notes first and then now something like that. It takes time and it takes lots of repetition going back and forth. When you fixed the intonation, when you corrected the intonation, you found the tune, don't just pass by. Always go back 2-3 notes before and then play that again and see if you got it. If it was slightly out of tune, go back and then do it again until you really get it. It's better to play out of tune to be able to notice and realize how you can correct them better the next time than always wiggling the finger and trying to fix it on the way and then just pass by. That's not the practice. The completion of the practice, intonation practice, comes from repetition, trial, and error. It's better to play out of tune to be able to play in tune the next time. So just always be patient with yourself and repeat until you got it. And then don't stop there and pass by. You got it, go back and then repeat that 3 more times or 5 more times until you really got that into your system, and then move forward. And then next day, come back to it and do it again. So those are the training that you can do to really improve your intonation. And you can practice this with your scales really slowly. I would recommend not using the vibrato when you're practicing intonation. When you feel more solid and comfortable with your intonation, then you can add vibrato and see if you can really be comfortable with that as well. And use this as one of your meditation sessions. Just really opening your body. You can even walk around the room, because when you're just standing in the same place or sitting in the same place and just try to practice intonation, it can create just a little bit of like stuck energy. I would always go around my room with like loosen my leg and my body is comfortably, energy is flowing, and I'm keep listening, I'm keep observing my fingers and responding to my sense of listening to the fingers very naturally. And in that energy, when you keep repeating until you find the pure tone with the open strings or without it, you start with scales in one position and start with Schradieck that really sets up your fingers in a way that really comfortable. Keep comparing to the open strings and you will feel the difference in your intonation and your overall playing and your sound quality. Everything will improve. And don't forget to use your bow to make the sound quality better with steady bow speed when you're listening to the right pitch. So these were the 5 essential practice habits that you can apply to your practice to really drastically enhance your intonation and find that pure tone, pure sound quality that really brings you the satisfaction when you're playing the piece. In this way, your confidence will raise and it'll be much easier to practice any piece to play in tune. Just don't forget to be patient with yourself. Apply these habits into your practice time from today and let me know in the comment below which habit helped you the most to play the violin more in tune. And download my free PDF 10 Steps to a Happy and Effective Violin Practice that can really enhance and raise your body awareness when you're practicing, no matter what you're practicing. Body awareness is so important to master any technique in the comfortable manner and not only with your fingers, but with your whole body. And join the Holistic Violinist, the private Facebook group I created to be able to get support and accountability from other violinists and myself to keep enjoying making progress in your violin playing in the long term. Watch the 5 posture adjustments here and then vibrato exercises right here. I will see you in the next video with more valuable practice tips. Thank you for watching this video, and in the meantime, happy practicing.